651 at KLIF. I'm Dave Williams with Amy Shadroff. This is a topic that we address from time to time. We've talked about this actually quite a bit. I think it's because we're both parents, and we see some of the things going on in society today, and we're going, what's wrong with people? And we're talking about helicopter parenting.
And I try not to be a helicopter parent. I try so hard. The
term helicopter parenting means you're always hovering over your children. And it's
different than being overprotective.
Right. That's right. Helicopter parents probably are overprotective for the most part, but it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing.
Rusty Lozano is a behavior therapist in Addison for the Center for Biofeedback and Behavior Therapy, and he joins us now live. Talk more about this. Good morning, Rusty.
Hi, good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Thanks for joining us. So how can people identify if they are, in fact, a helicopter parent?
Well, I think that we all, as parents, kind of fall into that trend at some point in our parenting. But I think that when you're overcautious and you are just a little bit too involved in some of the decision making or the outcome of these experiences your child has throughout their development, that could be targeted as helicopter parenting. But I think that parents are doing more to facilitate life for their kids, and we all want the best for our child. I have 4 myself. But I also think that, being too indulged can actually create dependence, and it's creating more dependence, and kids are losing their way and developing the sense of autonomy that they have to develop into healthy decision-making, learning from my mistake, young adults.
Right. Learning that failure is part of life. This is something that it really got interesting for us a couple of weeks ago, because we've been talking about this long enough that some of those kids are now becoming adults, or young adults at least, and we ran across a story of colleges, college guidance counselors and so forth, saying, you won't believe the things that these young college students are coming in, young adults coming in here because they had a fight with their roommate, or they don't know how to do the simplest thing.
They have no coping skills,
and they're going to their college guidance counselors for help and stuff like this.
Yeah, and I think they're referred to a lot as this is the cupcake generation. Actually, it's funny. One of my friends coined that term, and I was like, that's actually pretty correct. And you look it up, and it talks about how everybody gets a cupcake. And so things have been facilitated for them, and then there's an expectation of that. And there are I think that the survival skills and the decision-making are a little bit more hampered, and they become an adult, and it's time to make these decisions on your own. How do you cope? My son has a cat named Tommy, and he's an indoor cat, and he's a fluffy, soft, lays around the house little pet. And he got out, a few weeks ago, and we're petrified of we have coyotes that kind of live around this area.
Yeah.
And he was hiding in between the fence, and he was meowing once we kind of got close to him. But we were thinking, this cat, had the circumstances been different, could probably, hunt for himself and be okay. We used to have outdoor cats that were able to survive. You don't need to worry about giving them some food. They'd figure it out, and they know their way around the streets, and those are survival skills. And we're the same when it comes to those elements in life. That whatever we're adapted and capable of doing is through our experiences. And so, if we don't get to experience these things on our own, then we're left kind of either looking for somebody else to fix some of these problems, or deferring to just your own ability to either cope with it. So you either are unhappy and you're quiet, or you rely on somebody else. And so we need some of these survival skills, and that's where parents, I think, are missing the mark on letting their kids find ways to develop healthy choice making and experience failure and success on their own.
Just real quick, we're all running out of time. Are there any resources that can be available, or you have available to parents who are trying to not become a helicopter parent?
Yeah, I think that, if you look at the choice-giving theories, Positive Discipline is a good book by Nelson. And if you look at some of the original play therapy concepts, person-centered play therapy resources that are out there, there's a great book by Gary Landreth, and it talks about, parent as a co-pilot in play therapy. It's called filial therapy. But real quickly, just some bullet points. Don't criticize your child for making a mistake. Reinforce effort. It's not about you. It's about letting your child experience the failures and success of these life benchmarks, if you will.
Yeah. Rusty, thank you. We do have to go. Thank you so much. Wish we had more time, but everything you said made a lot of sense. We appreciate that. Rusty Lozano is a behavior therapist in Addison at the Center for Biofeedback and Behavior Therapy, and you can look him up, Rusty Lozano.